Recently, I did a commentary on Philadelphia Eagles player Eli Ricks for the comments he made as it pertained to Ivanka Trump and saying how she's his type and he finds her beautiful and attractive and all that stuff. And I said what I had to say about that. Now, here we are maybe a couple days later, and I'm talking about another Philadelphia player, and this is one everybody knows, and that is none other than Jalen Hurts. So, of course, you know, it's the quarterback for the Eagles, you know, current Super Bowl champs, and he is the rightfully earned and deserved MVP of this year's Super Bowl and just the season as a whole. But the reason why I'm talking about Jalen Hurts today, it has nothing to do with the nonsense like what Eli Ricks did. No, it's because he was interviewed on the red carpet. It looked like at a Time event, and the reporter had asked him why wasn't he going to the White House for the visit, you know how they traditionally do for the Super Bowl champs. And he gave his response, but I'm going to play the video for y'all here of how he responded to it, but it's also going to segue into another individual and what they felt they had to say as it pertains to this as well.
Are you planning on visiting the White House next week?
On it.
Thank you so much.
And he doesn't even have a pair to sit there and explain why he's not going. Just run away. Sage Steele joins us now to talk more about this. Sage, good to see you. I can't believe we're still at the point where some people can't just go to the White House. I don't care if AOC is the president of the United States. If I get invited to the White House, I'm going to the White House.
I know. I agree. It is sad, but at the same time, this is actually progress, Rob, because you remember back in 2018 where President Trump invited them to the White House after their first Super Bowl victory, and then he heard most weren't going to show up, so he canceled the whole thing. So this is major progress, right? We should look at this as a positive sign. I mean, you know, the bar is really low, and that's what I'm having to refer to. But at the end of the day, I will say this. It disappoints me. However, that is his right, and I have to respect Jalen Hurts' decision. I do wish the reporter at the red carpet the other day had not tried to answer the question for him and asked him why not. But then again, that would be journalistically sound, and most people don't do that anymore. How about Saquon Barkley, the Eagles running back, right? Who was golfing with Trump and was certainly there and shot back. I know you know that on Twitter about, guys, why do you have a it's a sitting president. Think about Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Greg Popovich, the legendary former coach of the Spurs, Doc Rivers, who won a title with the Celtics and now he's with the Milwaukee Bucks. They crush and are terrible to Americans, half the country, who voted for Donald Trump, the things they say, and they have declined trips to the White House as well with Trump in there. So I'm not surprised. I respect Jalen's decision. I wish it was just a respect overall for the office itself. These people, in my opinion, need to grow up.
So you just heard the response there. That, of course, is Sage Steele, and I can't think of who the guy is right there. But of course, you know, they went with a whole thing of like Jalen Hurts, you know, he's like this great person. You know, they do the soft blow, like he has won the Super Bowl and he's the MVP and all this type of stuff. Why would he, or how dare he turn down an invite to the White House? As if others have not turned down an invite to the White House before or have not gone for any reasons or particular reasons. And notice they're trying to get inside of his head, because when the reporter has said, are you going there? And he never gives a response. Would the Sage still come back and say, as you know, with the reporter, you should have asked why he wasn't going, because that's what Sage would have did. We all know Sage likes to dig and she likes to pry, especially when it comes to the affairs of black people. The thing that really gets me, especially when it comes to a lot of these so-called journalists and how they deal and talk to black people, like black celebrities or black public figures, is thinking that they can make them say something, or they can just say anything about them and no one's supposed to check them on it. The fact that Sage even said that, what that reporter would have said or should have said, lets me know that's what Sage would have done. Same thing with the guy that's talking to her right now. Again, they're not obligated to go. He's not a partisan member. He's not a big a political figure where he has to go like he's being requested. It's just an invite. Invites get turned down for any and everything every single day. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's nothing more than a photo op anyway. They probably felt, oh, Jalen Hurts is there. It is what it is. And see, the thing is, notice what Sage just said when she said Saquon Barkley, saying that he was a picture was taken of them when he was golfing with Trump and everything like that. For them, everything is a photo op. So they know if Jalen Hurts was there, that would have looked good for Trump, because then they'll try to spin and say, oh, Jalen Hurts supports Donald Trump. Why does he support Donald Trump? Because he went to the White House. And you know that they would have said something so ridiculous such as that. But speaking of Saquon Barkley, I was going through some of the tweets and there was a lot of them, but one of them really stuck out to me as it pertained to Saquon. You have this post right here. Now, this person, for all intents and purposes, could possibly be a troll, but the fact that this troll actually wrote this puts things into perspective. It says, good to know that Saquon is at least one of the good blacks. That tells me everything I need to know right there. Like I said, troll or not, somebody typed that and pushed send on Twitter out there, and it was a response under the video that Sage Steele posted, or whoever posted this video, because like I said, when I was scrolling through, that's what I saw. I saw a whole bunch of other posts as well, and saying that Jalen Hurts, you know, I used to be a fan, now I'm not no more. Jalen Hurts, so much for you being an American. Jalen Hurts, this, that, and that, and the third. You know, they do the thing where they think that if they say something about him because he doesn't go to the White House to shake Trump's hand, or at the very least kiss his ass, that now he is somehow not to be praised. They get on my nerves with that crap. But this post right here, I'll give the bot this, or the troll, or whoever this is, this line of credit. At least they kept it real. Like, that's how many of them feel. How dare this N-word deny an invite to the White House when it comes to Trump, as if everyone should just go to the White House every time he has an invitation. And notice they love to do that with black players. They love to do that with them, like as if they have to have black people on their side somehow, and we know why that is. I mean, look at these black conservatives and how they be out here bootlicking and tap dancing for their life, like they are literally about to walk the plank and jump into shark infested waters. And it's very interesting because as I was going through the threads of this particular post, people kept bringing up Tom Brady and Obama, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, let me go ahead and do some research, and this is what I found. So you have this right here, and this article is from 2019. Now, of course, 2019, Trump was still in office at the time, and basically this was from, I'm not sure what term this was with Obama. I'm not sure if it's his first or second term, whatever term it was in which the Patriots won the Super Bowl. That's when this happened. And it says Tom Brady explains why he missed White House trip under Barack Obama. And I was able to scroll through the article and find the quote that he gave. Tom says, everybody has their own choice. Brady told MMQB in a story published Tuesday. There's certain years, like a couple years ago, I wanted to go and didn't get the opportunity based on the schedule. We didn't get told until I think like 10 days before we were going. And at that point, I had something I had been planning for months and could not get there. It is what it is. I can't even sit there and fault Tom Brady. Like I said, you never know. Like he said, they weren't aware of it until 10 days before, and he had already had something planned in the works. And I'll be honest with you, if you tell someone 10 days in advance or 10 days out for something that's going on and you're a public figure, the odds of you making it to that is very slim to none, unless you have nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing on your schedule. Like your schedule is absolutely clear. A lot of these individuals, especially if they're very famous, they have a lot of stuff on their schedule that are planned out months in advance. So if they can't get out of it, which 9 times out of 10 they can, because they've already made a commitment to it, especially if they are getting paid, then they have basically a contract that they have to abide by. An invitation to the White House to go to the White House, that's a free thing. And again, it's just an invite. You don't have to go. You're not obligated to go. What gets me though is that the people that are coming after Jalen Hurts and saying the stuff that they're saying don't have the same smoke for Tom Brady when he did it. And that's why I had to go and look this up, and I found it, and I was able to find the quote. Now it's going back to Sage Steele and basically saying that Jalen Hurts needs to grow up and all this, that, and the third. I decided to go onto Google and type in Sage Steele, Tom Brady, White House visit, you know, just keywords and whatnot. And while I did not find anything about Sage Steele condemning Tom Brady for not going to the White House during Obama's term, whether it was the second term or the first term, depending on when the Patriots won the Super Bowl, because remember, Sage Steele has been at ESPN for years. She would have been at ESPN at that time. While I did not find anything like that, what I did find was this piece of an article, or at least the title of an article. ESPN Sage Steele, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Nothing reprimanded him from why he didn't go see Obama during his first term or anything like that. I bet she didn't even bring that up in the clip that I showed you. but she made sure in an article a while ago to say, when she was working at ESPN, to say that Tom Brady was the greatest of all time. Why am I not surprised by that whatsoever? All I'm saying is this: if you're going to have smoke for one, have smoke for all. But we know that equal opportunity or equality is just a fancy word. It at this point is just a myth. I think we've pretty much established that already. But like I said, Jalen Hurts, he has the right to go or not go where he pleases. If he's not contracted or being paid to be at certain events, he does not have to go there. It's just an invite. He is not obligated to go. And they got that upset at one person. But because they said and by they, I'm talking about the usual suspects, have quote unquote said that, you know, he's a leader and all this, that, and the third, he had an obligation to be there. Excuse me? Okay, so what y'all going to do? Y'all going to do the whole usual thing that you're not going to buy his jersey. Y'all not going to go to the games. I even saw some of them people on there talking about how Philadelphia fans, does Jalen realize that most people in Philadelphia voted for Trump? I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? Man, I'm telling you, MAGA is going to do themselves. And goes back to what KG always says: the white vote will doom us all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next one.